think it's because of developments like this, to find a team coming to the stadium in a luxurious bus, ferrying their players. It makes you feel very proud. And those from outside the country, I think this is what they've seen. There you see, that's number 25, Isaac Landu. It will be interesting to see how he fares against a team that is proving very difficult to beat in Ngezi Platinum. Another player that we may not have talked about is young Tanaka Munemo. Tanaka Munemo, we touched on. Then Mukumba, of course, is a player who is very, very effective in the middle of the park. He gets them goals from time to time. How do you see him performing this afternoon?
Definitely gets them goals. As we see Ngezi Platinum Stars getting off the bus, going into the changing, getting ready for the game. Of course, we're talking of Marvelous Mukumba, and he is one key player, and it does very well for Ngezi. He's an experienced player alongside Kada Amini. There we see part of the Moyo is also another gangling defender that does well for Ngezi Platinum.
Yes.
The Tima is also another good player. So, I mean, this encounter is built to be a top of the table clash. I mean, the top 8, should I say.
Yes, indeed. You can expect a lot from Mukariri as well. He's one player who never stops running. He certainly, runs himself to extend to every time that he, gets onto the field of play. Now, if you were in the shoes of the Dynamos Gaffer, that's Mangombe Genesis, what part of the Ngezi, team worries you the most? Well,
first and foremost, I was listening to his pre-match interview, where he was saying he tried his best to try and psych up the players after the incident at Chawanda, trying to get the guys to put that behind them and come into this game. Of course, what will trouble him mostly is from the midfield going forward. I mean, they've got Tanaka Munemo, is very good going forward. You've got Marvelous Mukumba, is also good going forward. You've got Kadamini, he knows how to overlap, knows how to keep position well for the team. So I think going forward, Ngezi have been a threat for a number of teams. Defensively, they have been also absolutely fantastic, but they don't let in so many goals. They play a good structure, and they play as a team. And that should worry Genius Mangombe.
Definitely, and you're quite right in mentioning Quadra Amin. And we're talking of Quadra Amin, former Soccer Star of the Year. He's been around winning the league twice, first with the Gunners and then with Ngezi Platinum. And we're talking of a player who is highly experienced indeed. He knows his way around the football field. So Dynamos are definitely warned to be prepared for him. That is, if he hits form, Quadra Amin. He has got a sweet left foot. Whenever he crosses or takes shots from outside the box, they are always dangerous, aren't they?
He's got a cultured left foot. I mean, he's a top player, and even dead ball he does very well. I mean, I was listening to his coach where he was saying for Kadi, he's playing at home because he grew up here in Bahrain. This is his home field. Also a distinctive Dynamo, so he's playing at home. He knows this field, and he knows the team is coming up against. Exactly.
Indeed, yeah. We're talking about Kadra Amin. He certainly is a player from the top shelf. And again, Murasiranwa is one player that Dynamos will have to watch, in this game here, because he can be a handful if given the space.
He actually caused problems for Highlanders at the BF. He had a great game against Highlanders, and he's one player. If he's on form on any day, he's a player that can cause havoc. He's a player that can carry the day for Ngezi Platinum.
Definitely, indeed, Ngezi Platinum. Big question is, can they carry the day today and avoid defeat, in front of a hostile crowd here at Rufaro Stadium? We are at Rufaro Stadium, where Dynamos are hosting Ngezi Platinum. Talking about Dynamos, we haven't looked at their strikers to see how are they going to get the goals, Spencer.
Well, I mean, Jairus Kasondo is out injured. I mean, Perfect Chkwende is also another player that can be pushed forward. They can also try and get the goals for them. Looking at the key players for Dynamos this afternoon, you've got Frank Agiaman. He's also a cultured attacker who does very well. Leroy Mavunga is also another handful. On his day, he can carry the day for Dynamos. As you see, Dynamos going through the warm-up. Talking of Leroy, he had a good game against Hard Rock in his last game. I think he deservedly, the coach gave him confidence and started him up this afternoon again.
Talking of Leroy Mavunga, I must say that his progression was gradual, but he seems to have hit the right, chord in terms of his form, because he's been playing very well indeed. And he was a bit unfortunate the other day to start from the bench, but he's one player who should actually be respected. Frank Agemang there is another player. The unfortunate thing is he doesn't get many goals. He works so hard, does a lot of good things, but the goals are not coming for the Ghanaian.
I think he just needs to get his composure and keep pushing forward, get in the attacking third, get the opposition box and try and get those goals. Of course, also for Dynamos, they've got an experienced player, former under-23 captain in Wisdom Tasa. I think he is one player that can also help Dynamos defensively. He knows how to defend well. He also knows how to push forward. He's a box-to-box midfielder. On his good day, he can do well. But he's a player who, I must say, we expected so much after what he did in the under-23. I think he got lost in the track. His career took a bumpy ride, and he's trying to resuscitate his career. But he's one player who could have gone far. Yes,
indeed, he could have gone far if he had a bit of luck, to avoid injuries and being excluded from the team at a time when his form was beginning to, go up. But of course, looking at Dynamos, you said earlier quite rightly that they normally struggle against Ngezi Platinum, as we see Abel Gwatizo. This is the man who will be taking care of, Tanaka Munemo. I don't know, I would have wanted to talk to him. Maybe I'll do so at the end of the match to ask him, how did you manage the young man? Because he's a tier-away striker. He reminds us of many great players. Madinda Ndovu used to do that. He was a problem on the right-hand side, and we'll see how Tanaka will play today.
Yeah, Tanaka is a good player. He also reminds me of Mike Abrams Mabrugwa from Arcadia. I think he also did well. Same with Charlie Jones, also as a handful on the flanks. So I think this youngster, he's got to be at his best, because coming up against a seasoned defender, Abel Gwatizo, and he's one player who's very solid and who can defend and who can go up front. He's got so much energy. He's a box-to-box defender.
Yes, indeed. As you see, Ngezi Platinum there warming up, stretching up so that the muscles are ready for serious action in a few moments' time. And that is Farai Madananga. He's another player who has been very consistent this time, and he was unlucky last time not to be one of the players of the month. I'm impressed by Madananga. His work rate, his timing. He's now beginning to start shooting from long range.
He's been consistent, and he's done that even when he was still at FC Platinum. He will shoot from outside the box, get a couple of goals, and I'm happy that his confidence is starting to come back, and he's one key player that can also do well for Ngezi Platinum. He's a seasoned player. He's won the league with FC Platinum, so he brings in that experience into this team with full of new players that can steady the ship.
He proves to me that game time improves players. When he was turning out for Harare City, he wasn't, this deft on the ball. But as time went on, he went to FC Platinum, now turning out for Ngezi Platinum. I think this is where he's producing his best football.
No, he is producing his best football. He's playing without pressure, and like you rightly said, the more game time you get, the more exposure, the more time you improve your game. So I always tell people, even coaching, you need to put in the hours. You need more games. Same with players. I mean, now that he's playing freely, he's enjoying his game. He has no pressure, and players are actually looking up to him. So he's one player that has to do well for Ngezi Platinum.
Now, if you were Katano Tembo, the national team coach, is he one of the players that you could try in the national team?
Well, I mean, the national team is always a tough team to make into. I mean, there's so many players out there that can make it. Looking at the position he plays, there's quite a number of seasoned players that are playing in there. Because he'll be battling with the likes of Jonah Fabish, Marshall Munetsi, Marvelous Nakamba, Abu Bakar Moffat. But he's also he's raised his hand to deserve to be there. And I think if they're choosing on performance and consistent, he's one player who should be there.
Definitely, and some people were suggesting that, look, I think Katano Tembo needs to spend a bit more time in Zimbabwe and watch these players, live, so that at least, he has got a chance to talk to them even after the matches, so that he can get to, know what they think of being selected in the national team.
Well, if he's not doing that, or if he's not staying in Zimbabwe at the moment, he has to do that. He has to continue playing, as we see the coaches' interviews.
Yes, as we go now for the coaches' interviews.
We've been working on that, and we'll try to make sure that we get early goals and also create so many chances in the early stages of the game so that we destabilize the game plan of the opponents. And going forward, I think with the way the boys are responding, they are doing very well, and they are understanding what it takes to win a Dynamos. So I'm happy that the rhythm is there and also cohesion to the players. And at the end of the day, we are doing very good in all departments. You know, we have played so many games now, maybe 13, 14, which means there are some few guys who are also suspended because of accumulating yellow cards. And at the same time, there are also some injuries from Perfect Chikwete, who is also still nursing that hamstring injury. And at the same time, Kasondo is also out of injury. Then Nedi is suspended. So we'll try our level best to work on the guys who are there, and also they were doing well at training so they can fill in the void.
Very prepared facing Dynamos. It's a big team, you know, one of the best teams in the country at the moment. But we have been preparing to come and do our business as usual. Just preparing like any other team that we've played before, you know. We have played them several times, and this is going to make the match exciting. And I think the fans are going to enjoy. As we will try to strive to get our objective done, just getting points. This is what we play for. This is what we compete for, actually. Because competition is always you compete to do the best or get the points. Because this is a marathon league which is very competitive. So we are ready to face them and get what we want to get. That is the most important objective. Get a positive result, get the 3 points, and go back home.
Those were the views of the two coaches. That's Mutokziwa and Genesis Mangombe of Ngezi Platinum and Dynamos respectively. Now very soon kickoff will be underway. Let's get to hear from our match analyst on what he thinks of this match. Who do you think is going to win, or what's your scoreline?
Well, I think Dynamos are going to win. They'll break the voodoo of having struggled to beat Ngezi. I think today it will be Dynamos' day. They should win this one either 1-0 or 2-1.
Indeed, well, that's the prediction. Would you want to mine as well? I think I'll give you a goalless draw. Let's cross over to the commentators for the start of the first half.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. This is the live broadcast of the Kasolaga Premier League Match Day 15 here at this historic venue, that is the Rufaro Stadium. My name is Tendai Isman, and besides me is expert analyst Maxiwa Omandiziza. Dynamos, the home team, will be looking forward to bounce back from what was a disastrous ending at Chawanda Stadium, where the match was concluded abruptly in the 79th minute. But this time they come back to a venue which they know more than any other venue in Zimbabwean football. And these are the players coming out of the dugout as they will be hosting the team in grey. That is the Platinum Miners from Mashonaland West. Ngezi Platinum, the team that hasn't lost a single game after match day 14. So much confidence coming from the team that is going to be led by a man that grew up in these parts of Mbare, that is Kwadi Amini. Shadrack Nyawa will be leading the team in blue, as he always does, or as has always been doing for the last match days. So much is expected from these two teams and a lot to give for their fans. But before we get into the nitty-gritties of the game, we get to have the national anthem of Zimbabwe, and that will take us underway.
Welcome to Rufaro Stadium for your match day 15 between Dynamos Football Club and Ngezi Platinum Stars. May we be all on our feet as we sing the national anthem.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Zimbabwe national anthem, the song that signifies that we are about to get underway in what promises to be an exciting encounter. And once again, welcome fans of football across the world, fans of football in Zimbabwe, fans of football in the Kasolaga Premier League, and fans who have tuned in from wherever they are joining us from to witness this glorious encounter. Besides me is Max Omandizridze, who's going to be giving you expert analysis. Max, what a good game we have on our hands.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for football tonight. Lovely Saturday afternoon, and Dynamos not really knowing what the end result will be from that game that they played against South Rock and Chawanda. I think they'll have just to forget about that one and concentrate on the game. And after all, it was not the players that caused it. Probably their fans would have a thing or two to learn from the recent incidents, and Ngezi planning themselves, as you said, coming here unbeaten. I think they're confident that they'll be able to creep up a little bit closer to Cape United, who are currently on top of the log table.
So now those are the match officials. Tichona Mbide is going to be the center ref. Laxon Mara, the first assistant. Francis Chirwa, the second assistant. And Grace Gimo, the fourth official. So, and also looking into the match official, who is going to be match commissioner, rather, Sabelo Maposa. A decent turnout as you're looking at the Vietnam stand, where there's a decent number of Dynamos fans who have come in their numbers to look into the proceedings. And that is Dynamos doing what they know best. And this time at the Mbare end, lining up and kneeling down across the face of goal. And they'll be looking for divine intervention, something that they've done. And we always say this, apart from their ability, and they always look for divine intervention. Now the starting lineup, not so many changes from the team that played against Drog. Finia Idrisu, the Cameroonian, has been trusted again to stand between posts. Tendai Magwasa comes in. Isaac Landu comes in as well. Hastings Chapusha making that back four together with Abel Gwatizo. Shadrach Nyawa, the captain, who has barely missed a number of games. Mantlenko Simlilo, part of that midfield, together with Mitsom Omutasa. Frank Agiemang is going to be leading the line as the sole striker. 4 goals he has scored this season, and will be taking over from Jairos Kasondo, who is going to be missing due to injury. For Ngezi Platinum, only one change. Kader Amini, the man who's well familiar with the Rufaro Stadium, is going to be the man who places Marvin Gaki due to injury. Darlington Msarirano between the posts. Leslie Kashitigu, Gomzagan Chirwa, and Brooklyn Katimba, part of that back four. Brooklyn Katimba is the man that scored an own goal the last time these two teams faced each other here at Rufaro Stadium in a game that ended in a 1-0 draw. Orlando Shawarevi, Notenda Murasirano, and Marvelous Mkumba, the dynamic trio, will be leading the charges for Ngezi Platinum. And these two teams are equally yoked in terms of the vast experience and the talent that they do have. And in your picture, that's for Finis Edrusu, the man who is starting to come back, having been on the sidelines due to injury, jaw injury, but now he's back again.
Yeah, both sides really competent if you're looking at the lineups, and Dynamos will want to take advantage of the home advantage as well. I think they've been playing so well, but you would know that they're probably not where they would want to be now, 6th on the log table. Ngezi Platinum Stars, if it was not for the draws, probably would be competing because they haven't lost, but they have so many games that they ended in draws for them. And in particular, this fixture has always been one that Dynamos has struggled to win in the past as well. And you would think it's been a long time since they managed to win against Ngezi Platinum Stars, and they'll be looking forward to chase that this afternoon with their fans coming in their numbers. Hopefully they'll be behaving today tonight.
Obviously, we now wait to see what as the team in grey in store for us, as we are looking for Tichao Mbide to blow his whistle to start this game that marks match day number 15 and the capital, that is Harare. And so Marvelous Mkumba will get us underway, and with that face kick off the ball, Ngezi Platinum have taken us underway. And seems to be a miss timing of that run, probably from Kwati Amini. Now the restart has been initiated, and Ngezi Platinum start with the long ball. We are underway here at Rufaro Stadium for match day number 15. Dynamos, the home team, in blue, attacking from the right side of your screen, going to the left. And Ngezi, the team in grey, the visiting team, attacking from the left side to the right.
I think it will be up to Marvelous Mukumba and Kodamini in the midfield for Ngezi Platinum Stars to give them some control in this game. And as you all know, that's their playing style. They really want to control the game as much as they can.
Leroy Mafunga. And with that play, you would remember against Serento's scoring in the first 10 seconds of the game, and it was exactly this run of play. Now Batitso trying to be played by Mafunga, but overcooked from Leroy, the man who scored the second goal when they played against Triangle here at Rufaro Stadium. 3 goals they scored in just under 21 minutes. It was a very explosive performance from Dynamos a fortnight ago.
Very explosive indeed. I think the fans were aching for such a performance for them. And if they could a little bit more consistent with that, and from that start, Lulu Mafunga, I think it will be quite crucial. And also trying to supply Akiman, who has been brilliant for Dynamo so far, one of their most hard-working players as well. And I really wanted to implicate that goal that they scored the last time around, and the fans were waiting for it. And unfortunately, that didn't really wake up for them.
Now Nyawa playing it to the left side, where Leroy Mafunga likes to operate. Now playing through Frank Agiamang, who feints across into the box, and one cross, but defended heavily on the near post, but still in possession with Abel Gwatidzo. And he has played himself into touch, Abel Gwatidzo, the man who carries vast experience on this left side, having played for Golden Eagles at some point, but now back with the Glamour Boys.
Yeah, Agiaman, I think it will be very crucial for Dynamos this afternoon. He does make those runs, beautiful runs, cutting across as well, receiving those passes from the likes of Mafunga.
Now Nyawa in the middle of the park, playing it to Anotidaishi Gwatidzo. And the Cameroonian showing that also goalkeepers do have some fancy footwork. But a long ball, a diagonal ball looking for Mafunga, and it has been played into touch, and a throw in for Ngezi Platinum. It's such an exciting contest looking into these two teams. Because in the last 6 games, Ngezi Platinum have managed to be the superior team, winning 2, and Dynamos only winning 1, and the rest of the games have been draws. So which means Ngezi Platinum come with a lot of confidence here at Rufaro Stadium.
Yep, the unbeaten record still intact, and I think they would want to continue in that way. Just so many draws in between for them, Ngezi Platinum Stars. They've always been a tough team to beat. The game they played against the Islanders, even though Islanders were creating the chances, they just couldn't break them down. And Dynamos trying to do that. A very good start for them early. And now Ngezi Platinum Stars getting a few of the ball as well.
Of course, they have drawn 8 times in this current Kasolaga Premier League season. Only Highlanders have drawn more than Ngezi Platinum. They do share the number of draws with certain teams that are below them on the log standings, but it means the defense has been intact. It's a good thing that they're not conceding. Same can be said for Dynamos, of course, who coming into this game have only won 1 out of 5, and it's the recent win against Triangle. The rest have been draws and losses, which is something that you'll not be expecting from the Glamour Boys.
Yep. Quite a roller coaster of emotions if you're a Dynamos fan, you know, winning some games quite well and struggling in others as well. And, they've probably drawn some games that you would think they should be able to collect those 3 points, but Genes Mangobe still quite confident in his team. If only the fans could do the same tonight.
Or now Tanaka Mnemo will be charging on the right side, across into the box, but good clearance from Isaac Landu. Now first corner kick of the game going to the visitors, and it's on the near side from where we are in the commentary gantry.
Decent turnout for Ngezi Platinum as well in terms of their fans in their little corner, singing and dancing, supporting their team.
So that's Genesis Mangombe, the man in your picture, looking into what's going to be happening this time around for Dynamos. So a decent number of grey shirts, and that's Amini. And also something to note that there's a little bit of communication pieces for the match officials, which means maybe communication between them, the center rep and the second official, is going to be smooth. Now deliver into the box, tried a glancing header, Orlando Javarelli, but there was a man just behind him to clear for a second corner kick. Tried to play it short. Leroy Mafunga was up into it. Oh, the opener for Ngezi. Under just 5 minutes, and they have broken the deadlock. Not the start that the home team would have expected, but exactly the start that the visiting team would have wanted. Praise Machengete, the centre back, leaping higher than anyone else. Give it Ngezi Platinum the goal in just under 5 minutes. What a way to start the half.
Dynamos just caught napping there from that second corner kick as well. I think the goalkeeper was complaining about a little bit of an obstruction because he didn't see the ball coming. And a very good header at very close range, and the goalkeeper really didn't even see that one go into the back of the net. But a very good cross. And with so many defenders lining up to play it, Dynamos was very unfortunate they had to concede early after what we thought was a good start for them. Ngezi Platinum South now leading. They're always going to be very difficult for Dynamos now.
So now Praise Machengete has put the Platinum Miners ahead here at Rufaro Stadium, which means Dynamos have to play from behind. They will be trailing at home, which is something that they would not have wanted to do. But now looking for the response, Dynamos, and they can look for the equalizer. The pandemonium in the box, but good defense. Praise Machengete, the goal scorer, being applauded by Marasiranwa for that last-ditch defense. Now they can go for the counter. Abel Batizo just coming in clutch to stop the fast break that was about to be initiated on that right side. But just talk about defense.
What a chance for Dynamos. I think they were a little bit too deliberate about it. Just there, trying to pass it back again. And then on that time around, Praise coming in to defend. The goalkeeper doing well as well. I think he didn't know that the cutback was coming there, Ageman, and literally just hit his legs and then anything else. That could have been a very good response from Dynamos. And I think they will be trying to do more of that and try to get back into this game.
Wow, Chirwa together with Praise Machengete proving to be very instrumental in that defense for Ngezi Platinum. I remember Ngezi, the game they played against Blaui Chiefs, they could have scored 2 goals in the first opening 4 minutes.
Oh, you could just see the goalkeeper there almost celebrating it as if it was a goal scored. And Praise Machengete doing the business on the other end, coming back to defend as well. And Dynamos will think there's a chance, going a begging for them.
Wisdom Sasa will be ruining a chance. Maybe if he had just gotten a perfect connection to that, we would have been talking about an equalizer, and we've got to talk about response. How well are these Glamour boys going to respond after going down just under 10 minutes? It means the game is a little bit open, and young fans as well in the stands, enjoying the game as much as we are and you are from wherever you are.
We've called for an ice cream today.
Well, anything for the kids to get a little bit of sugar. Now Munemo on the right side, crosses one in, but good clearance to stop any attack. Man, a clearance that saves the team, but makes the fans that are in the Vietnam stand raise in disgust. Well, they would have thought they were going to play from behind. But remember, this is a side that presses also with their 2 fantastic forwards, Orlando Javarelli and Tinatenda Marasiranwa. Brooklyn Katumba. So playing it forward to Orlando Savarevi. Looks like there was a hand in there. But John Ambita says play on. Didn't see anything wrong with that. Decided to let play flow. Oh, good exchanges between Manemo. Now going forward. Marvelous Mukumba asking for it. Mukumba, a little step overs. Amini now trying to unleash one. But blocked before you could initiate any sort of problems. Now trying to cross from the far side. Cross into the box. Floats one in. And too much for Manemo. But Ngezi got going. A little bit of enterprising play as they are trying to add a second one to what they already have.
Yeah, now Ngezi, their chair was up after that goal. I think Dynamos responded well for instance, but they've just been outplayed, especially in that midfield. We were talking about how Nkumba and Amini will be very important for Ngezi Platinum Stars this afternoon, now getting more of the position. Dynamos on the other hand, really wanting to play on the counter as well.
So now Dynamos are playing in opposition territory. Nyawa, the orchestrator for Dynamos. It's just been banded down. Scored a fantastic goal, Shadrack Nyawa, the opener against Triangle from outside the box without even thinking twice. A venomous shot with the left foot. Left the check with the net checking. Oh, Agiamang, too high for him to bring down. Madananga, happy that Kashitigu was there to recollect after he had conceded possession. He's just been pulled back by Manchliko Lilo. But Tichon Ambide is being a little bit lenient. Leroy Mavunga was almost expecting that ball to get to him. Now Orlando Savarevi trying to cross it. The second ball parried away. There were so many blue shirts ahead of the Ngezi Platinum players. It was always going to be difficult for that ball to get to Tinotenda Mrasiranwa and probably Kwadiamini, who was on the far side.
Yeah, goalkeeper a little bit unsure there, but fortunately for him, nothing else from that one. I think Dynamos just have to take care of the ball more. They're losing it quite frequently, and Ngezi by themselves is not the team that you want to be giving possession, because that would definitely hurt you if they get that.
Good holding off the ball, but concedes possession the moment he had done wonderfully well to turn. Possession given back to the team that has seen the most of it, has seen the lion's share of possession, that is Ngezi. Oh, threaded through, but the offside flag is up, which means his run has been cut short. Oh, surprisingly, that from where they were last season, Dynamos have done incredibly well. Looking into where they were at the same exact time after Matchday 14 last season in the 2025 season, they were in the relegation zone, only having accumulated 10 points, but surprisingly this time they're 21 points, which means 11 from what they had from the last season. God tries to redeem themselves as Giants.
Yeah, definitely. It was almost unbelievable last time around, last season, thinking that probably Dynamos was going to be relegated. But we have even seen it in European leagues today. If you really don't play your games, we can't call you unlucky after 30 plus games. And even West Ham and Tottenham were fighting for relegation, besides how their status is.
They almost relegated Dynamos, but it's a good thing that after they had the services of Kaidu, they really managed to come back. Oh, we almost thought that there was just going to be a head on that far post after that delivery from Mavunga. Or rather from that far side to just glance it in and maybe look for an equalizer. Wisdom Mumtasa was there, but the ball was just a little bit higher than him.
Yep, a good cross into the box. I think he misjudged the box there, and he probably had to leap for it or even put in a diving header to get to that ball. But But a very good tactic from Dynamos, realizing that they're probably not going to have most of the position, playing it quickly up front as well, putting those crosses into the box, and you'll probably think that they can definitely create something from that kind of play, Mavunga, especially being one who's leading that charge from Dynamos.
So stoppage in play after Ngezi Platinum Stars player has gone down after that last charge. An attempt from Dynamos from the far side. A good cross into the box that almost found Wisdom Mumtase, who was just lingering unmarked. And then Leroy Mavunga thinking, why was I not at the far post to just probably stick a leg in and give my team an equalizer at this point in time. But almost looking like the aged player is back on his feet as there is movement on the bench. So that's the cross from Kwadu Amini, who has registered yet another assist.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper was quite distracted there by one of his own players. I think that would be probably Isaac Landu, who jumped in front of him at the same time as Praise Machengete, and they probably didn't have sight of the ball there. Dynamos would think that was a little bit soft for them to concede.
Now Nyawa initiating it from the middle of the park, not releasing the ball too quickly.
That has been the problem today for Dynamos. I think they get in the position and try to play it too quickly, and they end up losing it. But I think they just have to stick to what they've been doing. They haven't played badly. Well, they'll go down, but I think they're playing well. Ngezi Platinum Stars will be quite happy if Dynamos continues to give them the ball like this.
They'll probably be missing the services of Perfect Chikwende, the man who gives in a very colorful display of football, was bringing in some creative runs and some creative plays, and now has been sidelined due to a hamstring. They'll probably be missing him. And you'd remember the game they played against Triangle, with a perfect pass he played to Leroy Mavunga. Abel Gwatidzo now. Oh, Agiemang, the man who always goes for the spectacular, but this time not fortunate to find the back of the net. Better more the target still.
Yeah, and he's saying to the referee he thought that was going to be a corner kick for Dynamos. They're trying to go for almost a back heel of a flick into the goal. And the supply has been decent enough, especially from this left back deliveries into the box, which is good to see from Dynamos.
So a throw in closer to the Vietnam. And there's been a stoppage in play, and I think we are going to be seeing a little bit of discipline coming in from the fans after those disturbing scenes we saw at Chawanda Stadium. And I like the initiative that has been set by most teams. You can see the message they've been driving across social media about a clean game and how they want football to be played on the pitch, decisions to be made on the pitch, and if anything that they see is wrong, it's going to definitely be discussed by the match commissioner and the disciplinary committee and whoever is responsible for decision making in the league.
Yeah, definitely, we really definitely can't allow such behavior in our game. Football, there's no place for violence in football today, and we see some fans, they do come with the little ones, those kids we just saw that time around enjoying the game, and when there's so much violence scenes like those ones that we saw in Chawanda, it's quite very disturbing for everyone who loves the game. And if you're a true fan, and definitely if you love the game, then there's no reason for you to be doing that as well. As we just see some of those fans in the stands tonight. It's quite unfortunate to see that, and we hope that both sides, Hard Rock and Dynamos fans, especially for Dynamos today, that will be whether we're going to see if they're going to be behaving as well. But I definitely won't be condoning such behavior. There's no place for that in football.
Obviously the 12th man is an integral part of the football game in all its beauty and splendor, and would want them to enjoy it in their full glory. Now the keeper coming out to put it away, Abel Gwatidzo, looking for options, but looks like Brooklyn Katumba has gone down holding his chest. Maybe there was a clash when Dynamos were charging in.
Yeah, looks like he's in some pain. medical team rushing in to attend to him. Really didn't have sight of what happened. But the game has just slowed down a little bit after Ngezi got that lead. And now they're in control of the game, especially with Dynamos not really making sure that they keep the ball enough as well. We just see that incident there. Probably a clash with Agyaman and the goalkeeper. Probably got injured from that elbow of his own goalkeeper.
Of course, Brooklyn Katumba, an exciting player, was sidelined, of course, a number of weeks. But it's good to see him back in this midfield for Ngezi Platinum. It looks like he's going to be stretched out of play. It will be disappointing to lose him in these early stages of the game. A good midfielder, good defensive midfielder. And the last time they did play against Dynamos and Ngezi Platinum last season here at Rufaro Stadium, Brooklyn Katumba scored their own goal that gave Dynamos the solitary goal. Brooklyn Katumba. And on the other hand, it was Chamboko, who is now with the Caps United outfit, who had scored for Caps United. So Dynamos, so far in this last 2 games they've played, they've only managed to collect 1 point from Ngezi and Ngezi 4, which means they do have the confidence coming into this. And talking to the match official, to the managers beforehand, you could hear what the Ngezi Platinum coach was talking about in regards to the confidence and not fearing Dynamos regardless of them being a very good side. You could see that he's now talking with a little bit of swagger and confidence. And you talk about the 14 matches that they haven't lost, and he says, you know, we don't think about that. We take one game as it comes, but you definitely know that, you know, this is a man with confidence.
Yeah, you're probably going to think about it today, but he was talking about taking just looking at a game that as it comes. I think he will be probably going to be substituted Khartoum. Unfortunate for him, but they have so much confidence, especially with the way they play. And I think he was talking as a manager who does trust his players as well. He's quite a tactician, and he's been able to set up a very good team. And I think they do have a chance, especially to compete for the championship with the way that they've been playing of late.
Well, of course, they have been lingering in the top 3. Nobody sees them coming, because obviously the focus is on Caps United and Hard Rock. Caps United almost being relegated last season, but back on top of the table. But looking into proceedings now, it's Ngezi who are in the top 3, enjoying life, almost closer to the summit of the table. But 8 draws, maybe as a manager, is not something that you'd want to really focus on, because just looking into the draws that they had so far, you look into 2 new odd draws, 2 1-1 draws, and 4 2 2-0 draws. So it's been a very disappointing number of draws. Now across into the box, and the defense is up to the task. Kashitigu. Very solid defense from Ngezi. Brooklyn Katumba back up on his feet and has been reintroduced. There's a little bit of composure and so much ease from the Ngezi Platinum midfield, not rushing things. They take their time. When you look into Brooklyn Katumba, Farai Madananga, they just make things work for their side.
Yeah, just look at that today. Marvelous Mukumba as well. One of those maestros in that midfield, almost getting a commentator's kick there. But they've been very dominant, and that's the style of play. And that's what I was talking about, how important that midfield battle is going to be for the likes of Nyawa in the midfield.
Exceptional from Tanaka Mnemo to just keep it in play. And you could see the frustration coming from Shadrack Nyawa as they were just changing those passes in their own half. Somewhat mockery for against a side that is as big as Dynamos. Amini, the skipper. Marvelous Mkumba. Top goal scorer for Ngezi with 4 goals so far this season. Munemo doesn't beat Abel Gwatidzo. Mavunga to Nyawa, who sends it forward. Agiemeng, oh, good turn from the Ghanaian, but then look, concedes possession. Now Rasirano across field, not the best first touch from the skipper. Anotidaisha Gwatidzo trying to play expensive football in the middle of the park.
And that's where they've been getting in wrong, Dynamos. When they get the ball, they're quite careless a little bit. And they lose it again and get the position back to get the Platinum Stars, who are almost turning it into a training session here. And I think they want to play it quickly, Dynamos. They've realized that they are not going to get the possession. But then you really have to make sure that you're quite accurate with your passing. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a long day for them.
Now Nyawa playing it forward to Agiemeng. Now movement on the right side. Now Mtasa was almost lingering unseen, but you have to give credit to the defense that didn't allow the ball to get to him. Corner kick, and that is Madananga just coming in clutch in time to save.
Good from Dynamos there tonight. I think that's the play that they want. A little bit much more pace into that attack. And as these set pieces that they have to make sure that they can benefit from.
So now Anotidaisha Gwatidzo to deliver. That's all he does, deliver, but straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Now playing it quickly as they go on the counter. But I noticed that Mantlen Kosimlilo was just coming in time to cover. Good crossfield pass to Munemo. But Abel Gwatidzo is enjoying this contest against the league's top assister, Tanaka Munemo, with 4 assists so far this season. The best creative player coming in from Ngezi Platinum.
Yeah, better from Dynamos in the last 5 minutes. Leroy Mavunga, Nyawa. Good combinations between those two.
Ngezi Platinum seem to equally distribute roles and duties to everyone, because you talk of Marvelous Mkumba and Marvin Gaki, who unfortunately can play due to suspension, but they do have 8 goals between them, 4 apiece, which means they're equally sharing the goals. There's also, then you look into the creative players. There's Tanaka Mnemo with 4, then Marvelous Mkumba again with 2, together with Orlando Javarewe with 2 each. So you could see how much they spread the duties and the burden across the forward players, which a lot of teams haven't been managing to do in the Kasolaga Premier League this season.
Yeah, I think it's testament to the style of play that they play. They do create so many chances that gives probably many of those players the chances to score.
Now Leroy Mavunga, quick 1-2, Gwatidzo! What a strike! From the laces to the back of the net. There's nothing the goalkeeper could have done to keep that out. But after quick enterprising play, he was found alone, and he has the easiest job of any wing back to equalize for the Glamour boys.
Wonderful, marvelous from Dynamos. And again, it's Mavunga with this pass back here and that into the box, but it's overlapping. And what a finish with his left foot into the back of the net. I would have thought that he was probably going to put too much on that, but perfect. And a very wonderful strike on the bounce, left foot into the back of the net, and the goalkeeper found wandering. But what a very good set of play from Dynamos. I think they've done brilliantly without the possession to focus on those quick play, and a wonderful goal for them, and they're back in the game, and therefore I'm really loving that one as well.
Well, lashed on it on the bounce, really struck it well on the volley, Abel Gwatidzo. Well, the quick play, and you always have to give credit to Leroy Mavunga. the way they needed those quick passes, something that they hadn't been doing. And the moment they did that, they broke open that Ngezi Platinum defense. Oh my, it's becoming a game now. What a response from the home team. 1-1 it is at Rufaro Stadium. Under 30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely a wake-up call from Ngezi Platinum Stars, who thought they were going to enjoy this game as much as they wanted. Now Dynamos with some impetus and some confidence, and the fans will be loving that as well.
Well, there was Shadrach Nyawa playing to the gallery of the fans. They like what he's doing. He likes what they are doing. It's an even exchange between player and the 12th man. Well, after scoring such a goal, the team starts to play with a little bit of confidence. Now, forget about the games they haven't won, Dynamos. Just look into the strike. Now played forward. Kwatitu denying the ball to get to Tanaka Mnemo. A loose pass from the goal scorer. Now Chirwa can start to dart forward. The centre back almost playing in unfamiliar territory, but he has kept the ball quite well. Mukumba not given room to do what he usually does. Sounds like it's an instruction from Genesis Mangombe to keep tabs on him.
Yeah, very good response from Dynamos. But so that lovely finish, I think that would definitely give them a lot of confidence, especially playing at home here. I'm probably going to get a rare win today, Dynamos fans.
Now Chira operating as a defensive midfielder, playing it to the far side, across into the box, plotting one in. And it is a Tisu who clears the Cameroonian goalkeeper.
Yeah, good from the goalkeeper. If you're going to come out, then you have to make sure that you get to the ball. And a very good fist onto the ball. I think it's been quite decent enough for Dynamos, not considering that goal he conceded earlier into the game. Definitely probably nothing you could have done about that. And on the other side, Musarna Darlington will know that nothing you could have done about their strike from Kwatitu.
Ngezi trying to get on the front foot, but to get an advantage again. But Dynamos with the marauding run on the right side. So play to Mlilu, who is coming for Neti. Christopher Neti, a very fantastic player, out due to suspension, has accumulated an unwanted number of yellow cards. So praise Machengeti just holding his shoulder after that aerial duel. Goes to Momtasa. So 33 minutes of football have gone by and it's level. The scores are level here, 1-1. Maybe a push from behind, and it's Ngezi Platinum Stars free kick.
Yeah, we do have a game here tonight. Still feel like there's still more goals to come in this one. With the way both teams have been playing, especially now Dynamos in the last 5 minutes, I think they've managed to get away back into the game because they've stuck to that quick passing, quick counter into the box, and definitely some creativeness going forward as well.
So long ball in and still hanging in the air. And Shadrach Nyawa has just been brought to the ground, bundled over, and it's a free kick that goes to the home team. Ooh, almost a mistake coming in from the centre back. Hastings Japusha almost considered position. Now forward ball as he was looking for Anotidaisha Gwatidzo. It was just too much for him. Marasirano was too quick to leave his lines, clear his lines and get hold of that one. And also just a quick reminder, remember the Warriors who are playing in the Unity Cup are playing against India as it stands. So you might also be looking for those updates. Get a quick overview of what's happening there at the Valley down in Charlton, England, where Kaitano Tembo is taking charge of the Warriors for the second game since he was selected and chosen as interim manager. We lost to Nigeria in the first game, so probably trying to redeem ourselves in that one. So it's excitement all over. Even in England, we have Zimbabweans that are representing the national team. So if you're missing action here at Rufaro Stadium, there are also other games to watch across Zimbabwe and across the world. Nyawa, loose pass from the captain. Hurriedly played that one and straight into the feet of the enemy. Now the tempo of the game has somehow died down. Orlando Zavarevi with two men keeping tabs on him, but doing so well to keep hold of the ball. Orlando Zavarevi was also with Golden Eagles at some point. Coming in, Mukumba trying to dance his way through, but Nyawa is there to stop any play. Kashitigu wins the throw in from Ngezi.
Yeah, good pressure from Leroy Mapunga there. I think Dynamos realizing that the quick switch play is going to be the word of the day today. Ngezi Platinum definitely have the control and they've slowed down the game, as you were just mentioning, and trying to induce their creativeness as well. Dynamos won't mind. I think they'll stick to how they've been playing.
Free kick that goes in favor of the team in blue. Wisdom Mtasa being brought to the ground. Wow, this is probably Leroy Mafunga territory together with Abu Gwatidzo, two players who are dead ball specialists for the Glamour Boys. But almost looks like Wisdom Mtasa will want to ask all the necessary questions. Is just looking for the nozzle of where the nozzle is. Well, we're seeing professional footballers from across the world get the knuckle ball whenever they are looking for the nozzle. It just adds a little bit of swerve to the ball. So is he going to be going direct? Wisdom Mtasa. Trying to cross it to the box. Not so much speed on it. Now finally cleared by Ngezi. But you're looking into Isaac Landu, who after that set piece has gone to the ground. There was a lot of action in there. Maybe the hands from Marasirano impeded with him on his way to clear that ball, and Isaac Landu was unfortunate to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, I think definitely came with it from the impact with the goalkeeper, who was also up there to control him. I think Dynamos definitely have to work more better on those set pieces as well. And as we just see that replay, distant one, and that was the collision. Always painful, those ones as well. The goalkeeper coming out to contest with the ball fairly as well. And unfortunately for Landu, he comes out the worst of the two. But those set pieces, you really want to whip a very good ball into the box, lesser to the goalkeeper and more to those attacking forwards as well.
And the man who is in charge of the tactics, Clifford Jairo, there who was in your picture, a man who made a name for himself after promoting FC Hunters into the Kasolaga Premier League. Almost took charge midway of the season in the Eastern region at that time, and he played almost a total of 19 games, if I'm not mistaken, and he won 14 games for them, which is a very impressive record for a young manager. 26 years of age at the time that he managed to promote FC Hunters into the Kasolaga Premier League, being the first team for Marondera to do so, and such a young man to do so for them. Exciting scenes, of course.
Probably one day he will lead his own team into winning the championship. And I'm almost going into the halftime. And in all fairness, it's quite a balanced game as well. Ngezi Platinum Stars sticking to their possession football. Dynamos also very good on the break as well. And Leo Maifunga in particular has been very good. I think they do have very good forwards going forward. On a good day, Ageman also one of those who has been causing problems for many teams in the league as well. And then you have the overlapping runs from the likes of Gwatizo into the box as well. That definitely drives them forward. And as a result, we saw that marvelous strike from Gwatizo.
So now both players, or Isaac Landu was down, has just allowed play to go on with that restart. 5 minutes left of normal regulation time in this first 45 at Ruvaro Stadium for Matchday 15. It's been an equally contested game, but we have seen spells for Ngezi Platinum having the line share possession. Good defending from the striker as he's now initiating the counter charge. Anotida Isha Gwatizu was just running through, and the first yellow card goes to Kashitigu. Almost looks like it was a deliberate handball. What a pass that was about to be released by Frank Agieman. Could have found Anotida Isha Gwatizu, who does know how to hit a belter.
Good play from Agieman after winning the ball initially, and definitely very intentional there, stretching his arm out as well. And the referee doing well to give him a yellow card. Kashitigu always looked guilty after that one. But very good from Dynamos, quickly on the back. And that could have been a chance for Dynamos to get a second goal before the halftime break.
So Kashitigu gets the first yellow card from Tichao Nambire, who has been quite lenient since the beginning of the game. Wisdom Mtasa. The sound of the Moors Gaffer, Lloyd Mtasa. Looks like he's on set-piece duty this afternoon. But from quite a distance, what can he produce? Goes directly, almost from Wisdom. Maybe the deep came a little bit sooner, but he would have wanted the ball to hang in the air for quite a bit. Would have caused problems to Darlington and Murasiranwa. But what an ambitious strike. Could have been for Dynamos.
Good strike there from Tata. I wouldn't have thought that he was going to attempt it from range. Almost catching the goalkeeper away there. He was scrambling. Murasiranwa on the bounce. Just the goalkeeper would have been beaten if that shot was on target. I would assume. If you ask Murasiranwa, he would tell you that he had it covered. But a very good attempt from Tata.
Now trying to find Tanaka Mnemo, who has been neutralized by Abel Gwatizo. Abel Gwatizo has done so much well in making it difficult for the tricky winger. Marvelous Mukumba. Now Mtasa playing Anotida Isha Gwatizo. Now going forward, there's a run of Mavunga alone, but it was just too slow. Wisdom Mtasa, which has been one of his biggest flaws, a failure to release it sooner, and maybe did not get the information and the message that good play, Tanaka Mnemo, and it's been flagged offside.
A chance there for Dynamos. Mavunga was all open on the left flank as well, and just needed a simple pass to him, and Dynamos could have been in, just taking a little bit too long after doing all the hard work from Tata. And that was a chance for Dynamos to get a shot of goal just before the halftime break as well.
Disgruntled fans just looking into the proceedings. Oh, man. Dynamos now creating the chance, asking all the necessary questions as we are edging closer to the end of the game. Leroy Mavunga running open, no one to find him, and confirmation of the time to be added after 45 is 3 minutes from Tichao Nambire. Good hands from the Cameroonian. Now playing it quickly. And concludes that long throw with an acrobatic move. Praise Machengete. Going into the match official's book after bringing Mlilo down. Quite reckless from the goal scorer. And doesn't look like he's apologetic after lunging in recklessly there.
Yeah, now Ngezi starts accumulating the yellow cards. Really quite unnecessary for him there. And a very dangerous lunge into the player, and the referee does well to give him a yellow as well. Now the pressure coming through from Dynamos, who have been very good, and you would have thought it could have been 2 for them just before the break as well.
So 2 yellow cards to the visiting team. Praisman check it, bring the latest. Now Leroy Mafunga has been quiet. Another one into the box, no one to cause any problems. Now Ngezi through Madananga with a lot of space, being allowed to run. Munemo has to go through Abel Gwatidzo again. It has been a one-way contest. Oh, Madananga got skill just to let the ball pass him. Mukumba to Mukumba again. Now Mukumba coming into life with almost 2 minutes left. Now Dynamos. There's a lot of traffic, but it seems to be easing it through. Oh, now Frank Akiemang crossing into the box, but too much. Good run from Ghanaian. Something that the Dynamos faithful enjoy and cheer. That is how you win the fans of these the hearts of these diehard fans.
Yeah, good run from Ageman. Unfortunately, almost slipping before he could put in the cross with Mavunga in the box. Stretching the Ngezi Planam defense from the right side as well. He does switch flank sometimes as well. And that's a very good player, Frank Ageman.
Frank Agiamang scored under 6 seconds when they faced the Rentos. Yeah, probably the quickest goal in the Kasolaga Premier League.
Yeah, I think it's been very useful for Genesis Mangobe Agiamang.
Leroy Mavunga just being stopped in his tracks. And a third yellow card. And they're now coming in quickly. Marvelous Mkumba being the latest to receive it. From a man who was quite lenient, Tichawan Mbida seems to now fancy just dipping his hands in his pockets. And the moment you see him coming to you, you know that you're going to be getting a yellow card. Marvelous Mkumba, the latest to receive it. And he doesn't believe it. He thought he was going to be let loose.
Oh, wow. I think Ngezi Planner Stars just trying to disrupt Dynamos on those quick plays. And that's why they've got so many of those yellow cards. And Dynamos will feel probably the better going into the break as well. Looking forward to what is coming next in the second half.
Well, Dynamos finishing this first half strongly after coming back from a goal down. It was Praise Machengete just under 10 minutes, giving the visitors the much needed lead. And then thanks to a quick play, enterprising play from Abel Kotizo, they managed to find an equalizer. But what a half we have seen Maxwell Mandasiza, and we are enjoying what we are seeing.
Yeah, very good performance from both teams as well. I think Dynamos did well to come back into the game and to get that equalizer. Wonderful strike from Guatido, to say the least as well. And now Ngezi Planam Stars, I think their head coach Mutweko Ziwakumbira will have a lot to tell his players, especially in terms of how they've been accumulating those yellow cards. And that has been an issue for them. Dynamos players still in the pitch before going for the drinks. And they will be looking forward to quite an exciting second half to come as well, as it goes into the break level.
So we are about to switch to the pitch side, where there is analysis together with Stanley Katsanda, Spencer Nyamazao, and Chief Justice Majavi from the commentary gantry. We are also going to go on a break. We hope to see you in the second 45.
Halftime it is here at Rufaro Stadium, and the scoreline is 1-1 with Ngezi Platinum taking the lead early on, and then Dynamos came back with an equalizer through their left back, that's Ebo Gwatidzo, and of course Bukumba was the goal scorer for Ngezi Platinum. I have now my two analysts. Firstly, Justice Majavi, welcome.
Thank you, DJ. And I think we are seeing a very good first half and a very good game altogether. I think an early goal for Ngezi was all they needed, and the Praise did very well, flicking that corner kick, a very good corner kick delivery from Kadamini. I think the problem is Dynamos in the first and foremost is they are really bad, especially in the set piece. You know, they don't usually know how to deal with the set piece. But altogether, it's a game which is so exciting. You know, we also saw towards probably the last quarter a very good combination play for Dynamos, resulting in a goal, a beautiful to the far corner from Abel Gwatidzo.
And Ngezi Platinum, Spencer, you know, they're playing more like a team. I think I love their interpassing, the way they control the ball, and they are always playing their long passes to the youngster Tanaka Mnemo.
Well, first of all, Stanley, what a fascinating first half. I think I must say that before I even answer your question, I think we've seen end-to-end football both from Ngezi and Dynamos. I think this was a brilliant way first half, and what a way to end the game with both teams taking each other, wanting to get that equalizer. But the long ball to Tanaka Mnemo, I think it's been a handful to Abel Gwatidzo. But Gwatidzo, to his credit, he's been full of energy. He's managed to stop Tanaka Mnemo, all his trickery.
Here's the goal that was scored by Ngezi Platinum. What a header! We talked about
Kadamini's couch at left foot, and he delivered a beautiful swift corner kick. Look at that corner kick from Kadamini, and the header, goalkeeper well beaten, and to credit to the Ngezi striker to hit that defender to hit that ball. But the Dynamos goalkeeper, his weakness is he stays on the line, doesn't come off the line, and that's his weakness. As the goalkeeper, come off your line, take off the pressure from the defenders. But credit to the Ngezi centre back for getting in there and heading the ball.
Yeah, there was Kadramin reliving the memories of yesteryear. What a couch at left foot.
No, you know, with also much of experience in him. He's been in the league for quite long, and also we should also praise him for whatever he has contributed to football. You know, we all know he's left foot. You know, even when he played for Dynamos, we used to know every time when he have a free kick just outside the box, Kadamin is there. Very good set piece taker and very good free kick. We all like him. You know, he is someone who is making a difference as well. Looking, leading from the front. He's actually one of those players we should embrace in the league, and whatever he's bringing on the field, I think it's also good for youngsters. They're copying from him. Looking at the text of their club, they all have some fringe players as well. So I think they're doing well, and you can see
the Dynamos goal. What a strike from Ebo Gwatidzo. And Spencer, I thought that, look, Ngezi Platinum, after taking the lead, I thought they were going to be all over Dynamos, but they had other ideas. What a pass from young Mutasa there.
But credit to Dynamos, when they conceded the goal, they did in the breakdown. That is a team goal between Leroy Mavunga to Wisdom Mutasa, and the smashing shot by Abo Gwatidzo left the goalkeeper helpless, and I think he knew exactly what he was doing. That was a good team goal from Dynamos, and shows that they are doing something. They are playing as a team. And also you have to credit Genius Mangombe. He's trying to build something, and it's showing. For Dynamos, I think the whole game they've been playing as a team, especially on the left side where we've got Gwatidzo and Leroy Mavunga. They're combining very well going forward. Agiaman is doing a lot of hard work running around, keeping the ball. I think he just needs to work on his finishing. That's only what's missing in his game. He's a good striker, he works, he runs for all, he chases all the loose balls, he's always involved in the thick of things. It's the goals that are not coming for him. If he can get one goal that will boost his confidence, I think he'll be a very good striker for Dynamos.
Yes, indeed. Spencer there homing in on the Dynamo striker, Frank Agemang. He runs a lot, he wins very important tackles, but the end product is not there. What's your take on his performance?
No, I agree with Spencer there. I think Frank has been doing so well. I think ever since he arrived, that's his game. He's always putting maximum effort. Only lacking, for sure, is the goals. But for him, he's a team player. You know, he's a team player. Complementation is there. You know, he does all the dirty work. You can find he wins 3, 4, 5 balls chasing backwards, but I think he just have to continue working extra hard and also try a little bit of working in his finishing, which is just letting him down in all his game and effort. But altogether, I think you all need a player like him. You know, someone who can work extra hard in a team, and he drives the forces. And of course, you can see whatever the magnitude of a game he's doing. I think altogether he's a good player.
Very good player indeed. And let me take you to the dressing room, Spencer. And if you were in the Ngezi dressing room, what sort of message will you be delivering to the players?
First and foremost, I think I'll be happy with the performance the team put up despite conceding that goal. I think the team structure, they've been playing well, building from the back. Marvelous Mkumba, Madananga, as well as Tanaka Mnemo. He's been outstanding in the game. He's been pushing forward for Ngezi. Kadamin has been getting those crosses coming from the left flank. And I think the coach will be happy with what the team has done so far. And you cannot ask for more. The Dynamos goal was a team effort, and it was nothing. You can't fault anything. There was intricacies of passing, good passing from Mavunga to Mtasa, then the shot from Abel Guatizo. It's a beautiful play, which even an opposition coach cannot falter your team. I think you'll be happy with how Ngezi have played in the first half.
And Justice, if I put you in the shoes of Genesis Mangombe, as we see there, Wisdom Mutasa taking, a very good free kick which just flew wide. If you are in the Dynamos dressing room, what message would you be delivering at the moment?
I think so far so good. You know, even if you see just after Ngezi scored, they quickly responded. They nearly scored here with Mtasa. So I think so far so good for the team, and the effort is there. You know, the zeal is there. So you just have to continue a little bit with the first guys who played in the beginning, and later on, maybe 15 minutes from just after the break, you can start making some changes. Although yes, Dynamos need the game more than anything else, but I think so far so good, because there is creation of chances. You can also see that the combination play is coming in. Most probably you can see at the bench what are the options as well. You know, it also counts. If you know there is someone, most probably, but I don't think Pio will be needed, because in terms of balance, it's all together. It's well balanced. Both teams, you know, in the midfield, there are tussles where Nyawa is winning most, and also there's Mkumba who is not clicking properly. I think because there's no Marvin Gaki in the combination, but I think it's not bad. It's not bad, because for Brooklyn is such a slow player a little bit, but he is also there. But for me, I see, you know, as the Dynamos coach, what he only needs to imply into his game is only utilizing the chances and get as much as the ball you can to the wings.
I didn't get to ask you for your prediction because you missed it. What would be your prediction?
No, I was standing on 1-1 all the way from home. I thought about the 1-1 this game, because I know it's too tactical, because in case they've got a very good tactical coach. So I knew they might start stretching. Good thing about this game is after an early goal conceded, Dynamos came into the game, and it's square now at halftime. But obviously, you know, getting into the second half, it's an open game altogether, more tactical going forward. But I think there is 1 or 2 goals which might come, especially for Dynamos, maybe a 3-2 or a 3-1.
Well, he thinks that Dynamos will be able to find a goal, but looking at the play overall, it looks like Ngezi Platinum has got the long end of the stick. Their passing is precise. They are controlling the midfield. I know that Captain Nyawa is doing quite a lot to try and disrupt them. If he could get 1 or 2 good partners in the middle of the park, yes, it will be a big game indeed. What's your take on the second 45?
Well, I think for Nyawa, he has done greatly well. I think he's managed to do well in terms of stopping all the engaged attacks. I think he also needs another defensive midfielder that can help him. So Mlilo has not been in the game, as well as even Anotida Guatizo, who are also playing in the midfield. I think they've really let down the captain. I think the captain has put in a shift. But for Dynamos, what I've just seen in the first half, Landu and Chapusa, it's like they've been playing together for seasons. I mean, the telepathic understanding, the way they are controlling the CB, they are doing a great job. And for Dynamos in the second half, of course, they need to really try and push forward. I still believe Dynamos will win 2-1. It's a fixture that really troubles Dynamos, but I think today they'll get the monkey off the back coming into the second half with the home fans rallying behind them, and I think they'll take this one 2-1.
Would you be making any changes if you were to make any changes at that time?
Well, in the first 10-15 minutes, no changes as yet. I mean, Mlilo slowly started coming back in the game. Maybe give him about 10-15 minutes, then he can run in the ring and bring in fresh pair of legs.
And you're on your side, looking at Ngezi Platinum, would you be making any changes coming into the second 45?
I think, you know, there isn't much to say, you know. I think where they need to just work is where I'm not quite sure about where there's Kadi, if he's going to pull up in the second half. I think you might also need manpower there because, you know, Kadi is getting his time out, but I think he has done so well in the first half. For second half, we also need someone who can stretch a little bit, Magwaza, because he's just static in the position, so he's not working extra hard. So because of Kadi, he knows Kadi doesn't run anymore, but it's good for Magwaza. So I think they need to work on the left side.
Yes, indeed, and of course, those are the views of my two match analysts. They do think, well, if there are any changes, they should come in, you know, deep in the second half here at Rufaro Stadium. 1-1 it is at halftime. It's now time for the second 45. Who is going to win this one? Your guess is as good as mine. Join us at the end of the match.
So welcome back to the Rufaro Stadium, where we are having match day 15. Dynamos, the home team, are taking on Ngezi Platinum. It was a good ending to the first half, where two teams were trying to get an advantage over the other, with Dynamos finishing the first half with the front foot, conceded in just under 6 minutes when Praise Machingete found the back of the net after a corner from Kadiamini. But it was Abel Gotizo who was then teed up after enterprising play, who found the equalizer. And in the later stages of the game, in the first half that is, we started to seeing Dynamos up the ante, playing with a little bit of rhythm. And now we are seeing the first change of the afternoon, as Ngezi Platinum is about to make a double substitution, as Edison has been introduced. For Tinot Tendai Shemurasiranwa. And Nesbet Mzenda has also entered into the fray. Your thoughts on what needs to change for either side, if there is anything to change, Marks?
Well, I think both teams will be very good, especially in different aspects. Dynamos playing so well on the counter, and Ngezi Platinum Stars having much of the possession. I think if there's something to change for Ngezi, it is the discipline. Almost getting 3 yellow cards toward the end of the first half, and they will be quite wary of that going into the second half. And you definitely don't want to go a man down in a game like this one.
So the restart has been initiated by Tichana Mbide for the last 45 minutes here at Rufaro Stadium. Will Dynamos end this disappointing up and down of results that they've been seeing in the last 6, only winning 1 in 5? Now the newly introduced substitute, Orlando Shawarevi, to the far side, looking for runners, a lot of them in the box, but good defensive play from Hastings Chapusha.
Oh, it looks like Ngezi Platinum Stars has come back with a little bit of more tempo. I think they were a little bit too slow in the first half in their approach, and they'll probably want to quicken that up a little bit as they go forward.
Obviously, they have taken off the services of club captain Kwada Amini and have replaced them with Nesbet Mzenda. So it means they've gone for fresher legs, younger legs, at the expense of experience. Oh, good pass finding Anotidai Shigwatizu, waiting for runners in the box. Good control, but the first touch was rather heavy. Now it's an open game. Orlando Shawarevi looking for options, not so much to pick from. Munemo trying to hit it from distance, and it's wayward. from the creative player. An open game, almost basketball-like from the two teams.
Yeah, I think Dynamos are sticking to what they've been doing in the first half. You just saw a snippet there of that attack from Dynamos. And Ngezi Platinum Stars also on the other side, trying to create chances for themselves early into the second half. Probably get a feeling that there are probably more goals coming in this game.
So no changes from Dynamos. Wisdom Mtasa was looking for Anotidai Shigwatidzo. Now Mukumba for Ngezi. Tanaka Mnemo does keep it in play. So Kashitigu remains the captain after Kwaduamini was taken off. Oh, good play to feint that Mukumba, creating pace or space. Now Kashitigu decides to go back and restart play. So there's a stoppage in play. Hastings Kashitigu seems to, Kashitigu for Ngezi looks to be in some sort of problems. And yellow card to Clifford Jairo. I don't know what the scuffle was between him and Sean Mbire. And confirmation of what's happening in the Unity Cup. Prince Dube has just put Zimbabwe forward through the penalty spot. So the Warriors are 1 up. So managed to send the goalkeeper wrong way. And so the Warriors are leading.
Oh, a little bit of a disruption into this game, and I think it looks like the stand-in captain might be able to continue, but then they were making sure that they go through all the concussion protocols, especially if it's a head injury. And, now play resuming. Dynamos eager to get a play going.
So now back to proceedings here at Rufaro Stadium. Morasiranwa will take us underway after Hastings, after Kashitigu had gone down to the ground. Looks like there was a little bit of discomfort from the captain, and now he's been introduced. So those are the confirmations of the substitutions, as Kwadi Amini and Morasiranwa were replaced. By Adson McDonald. Setting it back to the goalkeeper. Seems like the approach in the second half is to just play calmly. Ngezi. So there's also movement on the dugout for Dynamos as they are about to introduce Telmo, Pio and Demera. Waiting for confirmation for the third one. But that is going to be a triple substitution from Genesis Mangombe. Marvelous Mkumba. Back here. Now another one into the box. A good defending from the tall defender Isaac Landu. Munemo crosses one in, jumping higher, no miscues that one, but still with the ball. Adson McDonald, now Agiamang, and has been flagged offside of Frank Agiamang. Was very well on course to cause all sorts of problems. He is a forward gifted with the pace, but this time he was faster, and in turn he was flagged for offside.
Yeah, very quick with the flag, the linesman. Not sure if we can get a single look at that. Probably a little bit much more tighter than we thought. And almost going on the break again. Dynamos looks like the referee will be dishing out yet another yellow card.
So the latest yellow card will go to Genesis Mangombe. So confirmation of that trip for substitution, as Anotidai Gwatidzo will be making his way off the pitch to be replaced by Telmo Pio.
I think Genesis was very happy with the call from the linesman when Dynamos went on the break, and that's why probably we saw that frustration. And the fans not happy, probably because Leroy Mavunga is being substituted here.
So Leroy Mavunga together with Mantlen Kosimlilo, the two players after Anotidai Gwatidzo to be taken off.
Well, quite surprised with that decision from Mangombe, because in all fairness, I think Leroy Mavunga has been their best player in this game as well, especially coming from that first half. He has been the creative spark for them, and you actually can also see the frustration on his face. He wasn't thinking that he was going to be the first player, one of the players to be substituted with only probably 7 minutes played in the second half.
So now fresh players. Remember in the pre-match, Genesis Mangombe was talking about the number of games they've played, and maybe it's something to do with saving the legs rather than tactical with substitutions. You always want to save the players. Remember, we do have a long season ahead of us, almost getting to the halfway point of the season. 15 games have been played, including this one.
Oh, well, but if I'm Leo Mafunga, I wouldn't want to be saved for any reason, especially in a game that he has been playing so well. Hopefully, the substitutes can prove me wrong.
So now Telmo Pio will be in that midfield together with Shadrack Nyawa. Two men who do know how to control the proceedings in the middle of the park. Orlando Shavarevi finding Tanaka Mnemo. Now quick cross, failing to stick a foot to just give the visitors an advantage, but quick play altogether. The newly introduced substitute Nisbet Mzenda not getting to the ball in time.
Yeah, good play from Ngezi, a little bit much more pace into the attack now, and a substitute could have instantly been on the score sheet, and that could have been a super sub for Mutuweko Ziwa, but very good play from Ngezi Platinum.
So 55 minutes, 10 minutes since the restart. Katumba finds Madananga, who wishes to go forward. And Edson McDonald has been fouled. Free kick goes to Ngezi. Ngezi was just starting to pick up a little bit of pace. Remember, they do like to play with their wingers. No wonder why they have a right wing back and a left wing back. So Magwaza, Shade trying to find Demera, who hasn't had a touch of the ball since being introduced. That was a bet no look pass from Madananga. Now Shade in dangerous territory, failing to control it and stick it between the crossbar and the ground. Demera at a very good position to give Dynamos the advantage, but fluffed his chance.
Oh, what a miss from Demera. A very close range, a very good cross from Save into the box. And oh my, definitely probably much more difficult to miss than the score there. And hands on his head, two substitutes combining very well there. And Dynamos will be ruling that chance. What a golden opportunity to go in front for the Glamour boys.
Moses Demira had the goal smiling at him. All he had to do was smile back, but decided to add power instead of placing the ball into the back of the net. Xavi quickly into the box, but the defense is heavy. Now Demira being defender high up front. Dynamos now finding it easy to play in opposition territory. Addison McDonald. Marvelous Mkumba. Abel Gwatizu enjoying this contest, carrying on from where he left off in the first half. Tanaka Mnemo will probably think this has been a difficult contest against the left back.
Yeah, definitely Gwatizu has been doing well, despite also scoring on the other hand as well. But I think the substitutions are now working for Dynamos. Those two players, Xavi and Demira, combining very well.
Cross into the box, which Dynamos defend with ease. Kashitigu sending it back the right side. Chirwa. Now Manemo to keep it in play and throw in.
I was just saying tonight, good impact substitution from Genesis Magombe. I was surprised why Mafunga went out, but Savi has been very good on the right flank, putting early crosses as well. And it could have been also his counterpart, Demira, to put Dynamos in front. And that could have been a very good result for Magombe.
It's a good control from Pierre. Agiemeng almost looking like he was about to go for the acrobatic, but loses position in the process. Savarevi. Salmo Pio. No cut for him. While the argument would be first misdemeanor from the midfielder on Farai Madam Nanga.
He's the luckiest man in the field to escape a yellow from the referee this afternoon.
Oh, good coming in. Now trotting inside, looking for options. Bagio Madananga trying to place it, looking for top bins, but the placement was poor. The idea may be the opposite of that. So 60 minutes, an hour of football has been played here at Rufaro Stadium, and the scoreline still reads 1-1. Level matters here as we are left with 30 minutes up until the end of the game, with of course some additional minutes from Tichawa Nambire.
Yeah, it's been a very good game so far. Just seeing that attempt from Ngezi, Madananga always leaning back, not being able to find the target, but very good play from Ngezi. Both teams very good going forward as well.
Oh, good lower body strength from Madananga. Orlando Savarevi losing his footing. Pio trying to find Frank Agiemeng. Now Tanaka Mnemo would like to go on the best of pace. Not one of his best crosses. They will recycle play or restart it through Brooklyn Katumba. Not so many teams go this route of sending the ball back. Oh, Mafla Mkumba showing that he still has it. Demera. Not the best pass from the striker.
Well, Demera, you know, the time they to turn around and look for a better pass.
Now Mzenda. Adson McDonald refused to go for it because he knew he was way offside. almost seems like it's an end-to-end game now, a little bit more open, as these two teams are now starting to play without any fear, not holding back as they were doing in the first half. And you were talking about the impact of the newly introduced substitutions, quickly acclimatizing to the demands of the game. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, the game hasn't lost its chase.
Orlando Sawarevi trying to go first time, but instead he hit a breath of fresh air instead of having contact with the ball.
Yeah, I was just about to say, still a very good game to watch as well. They made probably the least into the game so far for the substitutions that Ngezi Magombe has made. And still trying to get a few of the ball here and there. He had a very good chance to put this team forward. I know that I said Ngezi Platinum Stars definitely playing with a little bit more agency as well.
Wow, Genesis Mangombe, another figure who really gives away his feelings and emotions on what he's going through as he's on the sidelines. You never know whether he's impressed or frustrated. The facial expressions remain the same. Wisdom Mumtasa, almost looking like his legs are now leaving him as we are getting to the dying stages of the game. Zenda. Through the middle of the park. Doesn't get to its intended target. Now Pio. To Demera. Agiamang. Demera open. But too much for him. Overcooked by the Ghanaian. Wow, the fans expected better. His team has expected better as well. They do know the caliber of a player he is and what he can produce.
Yeah, a little bit more chilled today, Dynamos one. And I think the team has been good. It's just that passing which has been a little bit less accurate, especially when they are going on the back.
Menemo. McDonald turning inside. Heavy traffic. Probably turning a blind eye to the amount of blue shirts that are ahead of him. Now Shave, a man who likes to take on his players. Shave. Magwaza open. Oh, Demera was way offside. Wow, Shave, I think he was caught in two minds as he started getting to where Praise Machengete was. Should I go? Should I go back? Should I go? And in the end, he just took away the rhythm and the pace and that fast break. Orlando Sawarevi trying to control it with his chest. Now Demera. The moment Dynamos get the ball, they lose it again. Zenda. Quick 1-2. Zenda again. Marvelous Mukumba asking for it. But Magwaza doing quite well. Machengete. Still in play. Now Marvelous Mkumba will enjoy taking on his man. Just played it back. Trying to hit it from a distance, Machengete. Well, what a goal it would have been. Or sometimes if you see players striking them from a very long distance, it just shows you how defensively compact the opposition is. How difficult for Ngezi to get into their final third. Now trying all sorts of attempts from a very long distance.
Yeah, and another substitution for Ngezi. I think they've just been dilly-dallying almost with the ball as they try to break open Dynamos defense, which has been sitting back as anytime Ngezi gets the ball as well, and they've done so well, and then switching on to go on the counter.
So Orlando Sawarevi, who opened the scoring against Blaovic, has been taken off. Not what he was expecting this afternoon, but another substitution again for Dynamos as Wisdom Mumtasa. No surprise really, he looked like he was a little bit exhausted as he's now being replaced by Trevor Mavunga. Yeah,
Mtata. I think he did put in a decent shift as well. Against Magobe, now putting in Trevor Mavunga, who was a defensive midfielder, probably also looking at a point and thinking, well, it could be something if I can get all the three.
Definitely. Now Pio Demira was offside. The flag has been lifted for him 2 times in a row now. It just shows you what type of a striker he is. Likes to play on the last shoulder of the defender, or the shoulder of the last defender rather. And so many times than once you see this caliber strikers being flagged for offside.
Oh, well, as a striker, you always want to time your run just in the right time as well. It's just been unfortunate, Emira, as well.
Now Matananga finds Mnemo, but Abel Guatizo still coming in. Abel Guatizo has been making it difficult for Tanaka Mnemo. Brooklyn Katumba, Marvelous Mkumba. Well, not do the winners, as they kept on playing where there was danger, but the fans are excited. Now Telmo Pio. Shaun Ambide, he then decides to blow his whistle. Disgruntled fans from everywhere, everyone from the stands.
Yeah, it's hanging in the balance this game, Shaddai, for both teams. Navy, last minute going into the 70 now. Dynamos still pushing forward. Against the plan of South, we also think that they still have a chance to get all 3 here. But a very good position. It's a long way from goal, but a good cross into the box, and you give your strikers a chance to go on it as well, especially the likes of Demira. And it will be Guatizo coming through to probably hook it in with his left foot.
Just to mention that it hasn't been an easy hunting ground for Dynamos at Faro Stadium. It is their home after all. But remember, they've played 6 times here as the home team. And overall, this is their 9th outing at Faro Stadium, and they've only managed to win 2 times, which is, I think, rather disappointing for a team to have such a record at home. 6 home games, 2 as an away team. Remember, they lost to Caps United here in the Harare Derby, and overall, this is the 9th outing, and they will be fighting for probably their 3rd win. Corner kick with Shale to take. Shale plays it short, doesn't beat the first man. A second attempt with his left this time. Pio does not like the ball to get into touch. Good cross! And Dynamos! Through Demira! They are now ahead. Telmo Pio with a delivery for the ages. And Demira says thank you. All he had to do was tuck it into the back of the net. And Rivaro Stadium erupts in joy.
This is the goal that is going to actually break the unbeaten run from Ngezi Platinum Stars. As we had just to watch the replay there. Good cross into the box. And it was Demira at the right place at the right time to have one of the easiest chances and just float that home. Unfortunately for him, this time he's not offside. Runs away to celebrate with the Dynamos faithful at the Vietnam end as well. And gives it back to his coach for trusting him to come in as a substitute. And to give some joy to those fans who at some moment were actually booing him as well. They made him after he had a few chances that he couldn't tuck in. And now gets the lead here for Dynamos. And Ngezi Platinum Stars will now put everything forward to try and get back into this game and or at least just maintain that unbeaten run.
Wow, come at the hour, come at the man. And Demira was the man to put Dynamos forward. 2-1 it is at Rufaro Stadium, more open than it was. He has just given a new lease of life to this game and confidence to Dynamos. And we were talking about how many games they've played here at Rufaro Stadium as the home team, and they've been failing to get the win. this might probably be the third if they just manage to hold on up until the final minutes of this game.
Call it the commentator's blessing if there's anything like that, but still some minutes left, and if they can hang on here, it's one of those wins that definitely push you forward in a season. Being able to break that unbeaten run for Ngezi Platinum Stars, there's still so much hard work to do before the final whistle.
Now Demira being teed up by Pio again. Demira, and just trying to do exactly what Dennis Beckham did against Newcastle, but this time his touch was a little bit too heavy, allowing the defenders to come in time to close him down. But it is that combination. Telmo Pio, talk about impact substitutions. Genesis Mangome would probably be giving himself a pat on the back after that substitution.
Yeah, and I'm guilty tonight for being the one who was questioning those decisions.
Oh, the Platinum Miners trying to find a response after having gone down. And you could see how much they're now trying to get forward as soon as they can. Well, is this the day that 14 unbeaten, that streak is going to come to an end?
And it's the combinations of the substitutions which has been working well for them. It's one thing to put in 3 substitutes, and it's another for them to combine as well. I'm talking about Xavi on the right flank and the crosses he was putting in as well. And now the result has come with a lead for Dynamos, and the goalkeeper unfortunately looks like he's been injured a little bit. And Ngezi Platinum Stars still think that there's still some time for them to get back into this game. And if all happens well for Dynamos, a third would do them a world of good, because we all know about how good this Ngezi Platinum Stars side has been as well.
Remember the last outing for Ngezi Platinum, they were leading by 2, conceded 2, and it was 2-0 at some point. But then in the later stages of the game, they managed to find 2 at the back of the replay of that fantastic play. It could be about the goal scorer, but Telmo Pio. Delivery from deep.
A wonderful cross into the box, well measured as well. And I think he was keeping his eyes on the ball, Demira Moses, and managing to slot it into the back of the net. Remember the chance that he missed at the time when we thought it was quite easier for him. Gives it back to the front and managed to give Dynamos the lead. He's a hard-working striker, and you always have to put yourself in those positions for you to be able to score those goals. But you have to give credit as well, like you said, to that delivery, trying to find the striker and the striker doing the business for you.
So there was Kwadi Amin in your picture, the man who used to enjoy these chants.
Oh, it looks like the Dynamos fans have forgotten about what happened in Chawanda, now focusing on supporting their team, singing in their loud voices as well, which is always a good thing to see for Dynamos, especially at Rufaru, their home ground. And you were talking about not being able to win at home. It is those home wins that can push you in a season, because traveling away is always going to be difficult. Still not yet a win for them, but if it comes, it will be a very good one for them.
So 21 points could soon turn into 24. We'll be edging closer to the 2 teams that are on top of the table. Not so much difference as they wait for judgment of their abandoned game rather against Hard Rock. But a good positive attitude and a message from the fans here at the Vietnam is loosely translated. It is a good team, leave it alone like that. It might cause you problems that you are not very much ready to deal with. Now Demera, but Murasirano, Brooklyn Katumba. Back to Chirwa. Telmo Pio pressing higher. It's now difficult. Oh, Frank Agiamang. Now Kashitigu. Now up together with Pio pressing higher now. Karangashwa. Madananga being brought to the ground by Trevor Mavunga. Karangashwa looking for the speedster, that is Tanaka Mnemo.
Yeah, good pressure from Dynamos. I think they've done well to press higher up. We really don't want to sit back and just allow Ngezi Platinum Stars to come at you. And now they'll be taking as much time as they can from this game as well. Almost getting into the 80th minute. And still pressing forward. Good hard working from the substitutes as well. And if they were to get a third, I think they would definitely seal the game and get the plan of stars really wanting to play and come back into the game.
So added back to his goalkeeper. At this stage, Dynamos would want time to move faster. And obviously for Ngezi, they would want to for time to move a little bit slower. I think Genesis Mangombe deliberately miscued that one. His team is leading after all. Madananga turning. Now hits it from distance. Too high. Well, you would have thought that it was going to go on the far side where Tanaka Mnemo is operating. But maybe he thought we have fed him enough balls. But from the Grantry, if you could look at the Ngezi Platinum manager, the message that he's telling his players is calm down.
Yeah, still have the time to come back into the game. And as you know very well, Mutuwe was quite tactical in the approach to the game, and he still thinks and he would believe that his team still does have a chance here.
So there's been a stoppage in play, and the match official seems to be giving something to Shawana Mbide about maybe the proceedings that should have been checked. Or Trevor Mavunga opening up the stars. Needs to be really careful.
Now also I think it's Genesis Magombe who's already on a yellow. The manager who's been up and about on the touchline there, trying to see his team through, and just getting warning for the referee to keep himself in his regulated box.
That's Colin Mjudu, who was starting a vast number of games. And then came Chapusha and Landu. They've been playing ahead of him ever since. Telmo Pio had so much time, ample time to bring the ball down, but decided to play it first time. And I'll tell you what, it was probably one of the worst decisions from the gifted midfielder, Zenda. Now, this can be a foot race. Murasidanwa.
I think the good thing that Dynamos has done is not to allow Ngezi Platinum Stars all the possession. They're still pushing forward, and the likes of Theo have been relentless, running all over the pitch, probably covering most distance than the other players that started this game, trying to keep on the pressure on Ngezi Platinum Stars as they wind down the time.
So 10 minutes left as we are now in the 80th minute of this Matchday 15 fixture. Dynamos in the front foot. Mavunga going direct. The ball was swerving. Oh, now Tanaka Mnemo would like to apply those afterburners. But that first touch was a little bit poor. Now, what a contest these two have been having since the first minute of the game. Abel Gwatidzo being superior so far.
A little bit aggressive in the challenge, but he just made sure to get the ball. I think he's one of the players that has done well this afternoon for Dynamos as well.
Ramadananga for playing it to McDonald. And then offside. Surprising call, to be honest. Maybe when the initial ball was played, he was in an offside position, and then when he received it, seemed like he was now onside. Karengeshwa to Madananga. Madananga crosses it in, but it goes out for a corner. Are they going to get another one from a set piece? They do have the tall players. They now have Edson McDonald, Ashwin Karengeshwa and Praise Machengete together. Not so much from that one. Now Demera. Good upper body strength, but Mnemo has considered a foul.
Yeah, frustration from Ngezi. Nothing really coming out from that attack. And on the counter, Dynamos stretching them again. And you still have to be wary about conceding a third, even though you still want to get back into the game. That's the dilemma now for Ngezi Platinum Stars.
Now Demera has been brilliant playing into Pio. Pio with a loose touch. Mukumba. Now Mzenda. Now Mukumba. Cross into the box, but good defending from Isaac Landu.
Yeah, good from Landu. Always a difficult ball, especially when it's with some pace like that. It did well to not only defend, but a very good direction to the head as well, away from the goal.
Exceptional hold-up play from Demera. Unfortunate not to keep that one on the second attempt. Ngezi, a shadow of their former selves. The way they were playing before conceding that second goal is now different from how they are playing. They are trying to do everything, but Dynamos has just been so solid defensively. Abel Batizo again. Defensive masterclass. Madananga. Zenda being brought down. Now a substitution to be made. Brooklyn Katumba to be replaced by Ditima. Tinotenda Ditima to play the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, let one. Let substitution here for Ngezi, pushing for the equalizer. They do have a set piece in a very good position here. Just trying to look at what the decision would be. Looks like they're probably lining up to take a sort of go here. And probably the only decision to be made is who is going to do that on all of those players that are actually surrounding the free kick area.
The opening fixture between these two teams in the 2025 season ended up with Ngezi Platinum winning by 2-1. Well, Dynamos replicate that in this first fixture of the season. Are they going to be winning also by 2-1? It was at Baobab Stadium, but now it is at Rufaro Stadium, where the home team might be looking to inflict heavy damage on the travellers. Zenda looks like he's going to be going direct. Strikes it high, but straight into the Cameroonian's hands.
Yeah, that's always the difficult thing when it's so far from goal. You know, looking at keeping it on target, and you're also looking at beating the goalkeeper whilst also putting some pace on it. And he managed to keep it on target, but it was quite tame. And the goalkeeper was smiling all the way to collect the ball.
Now plays it in the path of Agyemeng. Abel Batizo darting forward. He likes overlapping, and Munemo was also there to defend him. It was his turn to defend, a man who has been defending him all the game, and has done that exceptionally well. But it's a corner. It's a corner kick, I believe.
Yeah, what a shift from Batizo. He has been overlapping on that left flank, almost working twice as hard as he did in the first half. Also getting that wonderful goal for Dynamos. And they've done well to keep pushing forward Dynamos and not trying to sit back and defend. And that's why they're still getting this corner kick.
5 blue shirts in the box. As the delivery comes in from Xavi Agyemeng. Oh, almost. denied at the last minute. The Ghanaian was about to add a fifth one to his tally this season. Could have been a third this afternoon for Dynamos.
Oh, that definitely could have sealed it. And just unlucky Agiaman, but good play from Dynamos. A very good corner kick. And Agiaman almost getting the third.
Now Xavi, who hasn't really bitten in his man this afternoon, but cutting inside, will go for the killer. Inches away from the upright, was going for the far side, trying to beat Murasiranwa as he was diving for it. But the band just came in a little bit late for Xavi.
Yeah, good strike for Xavi. Cutting inside, taking his time, looking at the target. And away. And the bench also applauding his effort. He has been wonderful after coming in.
Now Xavi playing it to Demira. Demira way offside.
Now this time he knew it. He really didn't even attempt to get to the ball, Demira.
88 minutes now. Mukumba trying to leave it for Edson McDonald. Now Madananga looking for a run. Brought by Trevor Mafunga. Now he's going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, definitely taking one for the team there, Mafunga. After that misplaced pass. Looking at Ngezi, almost striding forward towards the 18 area. And he just had to wrestle him to the ground. And a definite yellow for him here. But Ngezi Planasaw with another chance here for a free kick. Probably not going for goal this time around, I would reckon.
Well, for Raima Dananga, a player who is gifted with close control. And that a tactical foul. Oh, it is a system that many teams use. And we have seen big teams across the world win leagues by applying tactical fouls. Now Kashitegu, the captain. Is there anything in his sleeve to put a dent on this Dynamos lead? So Kashitegu. Kashitegu kills one in. Shadzak Nyawa, the captain, clears away. Kashitegu again. Oh, losing the ball to Telmo Pio. Not the best pass from Pio. The man who has a fantastic left foot. And we've just been told that it's going to be 4 minutes at a time. Now Pio. Running across to Abel Guatizo. Guatizo to deliver. Now Ditima. Ngezi Platinum now finding it difficult to play. The fans are happy. They are happy. Mukumba. Now Mzenda will try to play it to Munemo. Munemo. Ditima now. Mzenda operating on the far side. Mukumba in the box, waiting slowly. Now Chiro setting it forward again. Headed clearance from Dynamos. Mukumba. Now Ditima. Madananga. Very tame effort.
Yeah, a chance there for Ngezi Planam. Now the goalkeeper doing that fancy pickups and dropping to the ground. Just annoying and adding to the frustration of Ngezi Planam South. A decent run of play for them here. And they created that space for the shot. Unfortunately for Madananga, he couldn't get the pace on it. And time almost running away here for Ngezi Planam South.
No, Karengeshwa. That's Edison McDonald. Much to the dismay of the dire Dynamos fans. So Marvelous Mkumba, well believing the field of play, a very fantastic player. 4 goals, 2 assists here so far after 14 match days, 15 including this one. but a difficult afternoon for him.
No, I don't think it's too much time for Junior Tinashe Mavudzi to make an impact in this game. A very late substitution coming in from Mutuekzia, but a decent chance here for Ngezi to put a ball into the box and just see if they can get a look at goal.
So now Karengeshwa will be calling one in. Ooh, almost whiskers away from the upright. There was no head there, but a lot of confusion.
And the goalkeeper not coming out for it, trying to look and see where it was going to bounce. A very good cross into the box, curling towards the goal there. And there was an attempt here on the head, just missing a little bit from Moses, from rather Ngezi Planam there. Oh, Dynamos fans with the hearts in their mouth. That could have been a heartbreak one for them.
Frank Agiamang plays it back to Abel Guatizo. Now Demera running for it, but is well offside. Maybe the problem with Demera is the failure to bend his run as he's charging for the ball. Mujuru will be the later substitution to be made and probably the last. I wonder if he's going to get a feel of the ball before Tichona Mbire blows his whistle for final time. Nervy moments for the team that has only won 3 times at Rufaro Stadium after 9 outings. So now Frank Agiamang, a forward for a defender. Mbire, a moment from now, he's going to be blowing his whistle. Remember, it's a minimum of 4 minutes. Madananga keeping it in the air. Bitima. And with that, Mbire blows the final whistle. Maximum points at home for Dynamos. It was a long time coming, but it was worth the wait. Fantastic strikes from 2 fantastic players. Abel Guatizo with the equalizer, Demera with the finisher, and with that, Genesis Mangombe gets his 2nd successive win here at Rufaro Stadium for Ngezi Platinum. The 14-match unbeaten streak finally comes to an end. But what a game, what a performance, resilience, grit, and the desire to continue and go on from Dynamos.
What a game tonight, and what a beautiful display of what Zimbabwean football is all about. And in the headlines, it's just about how good the game has been this afternoon. And Dynamos will be quite grateful to a very big performance from their players as well. And the likes of Guatizo, brilliant. They were coming in as a substitute, also getting on the score sheet. Ngezi Plan of South. Finally, that unbeaten run comes to an end. But a good effort from them as well. And head coach Mutuekzia will be going back to Ngezi, trying to look at where things got wrong. But it was just that good play from Dynamos, and you can see Genesis Mangombe and the players and the fans. I'm quite happy. It looks more than a win for them. It does give you that charge, that energy to go through into the season and continue with the beautiful run as well. And a wonderful, wonderful win for Dynamos. A brilliant game.
Look at what it means for Demera. He came in as a substitute and he played like he deserves to be in the first 11. Was caught offside so many times, but finally he found the back of the net, redeeming himself after having missed a couple of opportunities. In the end, it's 2-1 to Dynamos. Marks, it's been a pleasure having you in the commentary gantry. I'm Tendai Isman. Until next time, it's a goodbye. We now switch over to Stanley Katsandi, who's going to be doing interviews with
Yes, indeed, that's the final score at Rufaro Stadium. Dynamos beating Ngezi Platinum by 2-1. The first victory or the first defeat for Ngezi Platinum, and then of course it's certainly going to be very difficult for the likes of Kumbirai Mutuekuziwa, who is the coach, and I'll be talking to him in a moment or two to find out where it all went wrong. But otherwise, in terms of performance, I must say that they looked very, very comfortable indeed. Coach, well, today was the day. I thought last time when we spoke, how are you dealing with the pressure of being the only team that was unbeaten?
Yeah, we have been trying to manage each game as it comes, but today it is another result. You know, those are the results in football. Exactly. We tried our best, you know, to try to succumb to that pressure, but finally, I think they've broken us.
And you know, you started off very well. You scored first, and it looked like you will soon be all over, you know, Dynamos. But where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, just lapse of concentration, I think, from our defending. You know, looking at the first goal that they've scored and even the second goal, there was a lot of miscommunication between the goalkeeper and the defense line. But it's part of the game, you know. If you make mistakes, sometimes you get punished. But we had more better control of the game. You know, I'm not even bored with the performance of the guys. Their performance is quite okay, but the result is only what matters most now. But performance, they are doing very well.
I certainly do agree with you, because you controlled the game. Your interplay was, you know, really good. But look, it always happens. Good luck next time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Of course, that was Tonda Kumbirai Mutuekuziwa, the Ngezi Platinum coach, and I'll be joined by the winning coach, Genesis Kakamamombe, the Dynamos mentor. Congratulations, coach.
Thank you very much. I'm happy with the win.
Indeed. Tell me, how did it feel in the last 5-6 minutes when you were leading 2-1? You know, being on the bench, take us through how it felt.
Yeah, it's always a game of football. It's got pressure. And especially when you're on the lead and we are going to the dying minutes of the game. I'm happy with the response to the boys. They managed to defend very well, and at the same time creating some counter-attacks, which were also positive. If we were lucky, maybe we should have scored another goal. But overall, I like the fighting spirit of the team.
And you seem to have acquired a very good defensive pillar in Isaac Landu. Did you see the way we did that? You know, he was one of the outstanding players.
Of course. He's playing very well every day and he's improving. The more he gets game time, the more he's also gelling in with the guys. And I'm happy he's playing very well in our philosophy.
And your message to the Dynamos fans now?
Yeah, they have to keep patience, like we always say. Some of the players are still gelling in. And you know, Dynamos is so big to them. They also have to understand that they are coming from, some of them, from very small teams. So they have to understand and build them and be patient on them. I think some of them have proved that they are good players.
Congratulations, coach, and I hope that you could continue improving.
Thank you very much.
That, of course, was Genesis Kakamamombe, the Dynamos coach, of course, in jovial mood and celebratory mood. They've won this match here by 2-1, beating Ngezi Platinum for the very first time, indeed, because Ngezi were still unbeaten. And this time around, we'll be talking to our man of the match, a man who had a very huge task at the back on left back position. That's Abel Gwatiza. Congratulations, Abel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
And now, we pre-match, before the match started, we knew that you were going to be the busiest man on the pitch, because you were taking care of a young man called Tanaka Munemo, who is certainly, you know, proving to be a player difficult to handle. How did you manage to do that?
I manage him. I manage so well, because I know that that young boy can run very fast. So I manage him well, so that if I have the ball, I have to take him on forward. So I did my best. Thank you.
That was certainly your best, because most defenders find it very difficult to contain him, and I thought you were going to be fouling him, but it didn't happen that way. Anyway, very congratulations. Can you raise your check here? A $200 check for being the man of the match for Abel Gwatizo of Dynamos. Thanks very much for watching.
Right indeed. So that's the story told from Rufaro Stadium. Let's now wind up and say thank you very much for watching. Please join us next time.